You may not see it in the mirror. You may not feel it like a sharp pain. But if you wake up with stiff joints, if you feel tired, even after resting, if your memory seems a little foggy lately, there's a silent reason behind it. And it's not just age. It's called chronic inflammation, and it's quietly damaging your body from the inside out. You see, as we grow older, our immune system becomes more sensitive, not stronger. Instead of calming down after healing, it stays on alert, constantly firing, constantly inflaming. And that fire doesn't just stay in one place. It travels to your joints, your heart, your brain, even your skin. Doctors now call it inflammaging, the slow burn that accelerates aging. But here's the good news. There are simple foods, natural, gentle, nourishing, that can cool that fire down. And no, you don't need a complicated diet, expensive supplements, or a health guru's approval. You just need to know what works and why it works, especially for people over 60. This video isn't about trendy superfoods or celebrity tips. It's about the 5 most powerful anti-inflammatory foods you can actually enjoy, whether you live alone, cook for 2, or still gather the family on weekends. Before we begin, let me ask you something honestly. When was the last time you ate something and truly felt it was helping you, not hurting you? If it's been a while, this may change everything. Let's start with a golden root that's been used for centuries, and now even science agrees it works. It may look like a simple yellow powder sitting in your spice rack. But turmeric, especially its active compound curcumin, is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory agents nature has ever given us. This isn't just folk medicine. Dozens of studies, including one from the Journal of Medicinal Food, have shown that curcumin can block the molecules that trigger inflammation, much like over-the-counter pain medications. But unlike pills, turmeric does it gently, without harming your liver or your stomach lining. For seniors over 60, this means something deeply personal. You may be able to reduce joint pain. You may walk more freely. You may sleep more peacefully at night. I remember a woman I met at a community center in Florida. She was 76, lively, sharp, and danced every Friday with her friends. When I asked her how she kept her knees so flexible, she laughed and said, "Turmeric tea every morning, and no excuses." You don't have to drink it as tea, of course. Here are a few simple ways to add turmeric to your daily routine. Sprinkle it over roasted vegetables or scrambled eggs. Stir it into soups or lentils. Blend it into warm almond milk with a pinch of black pepper. This last part is important. Black pepper contains piperine, which boosts turmeric absorption in your body by up to 2,000%. But here's a gentle warning. Don't expect a miracle overnight. Turmeric works over time, quietly, patiently. Just like inflammation built up quietly and patiently in your body. You won't feel it healing you instantly. But one morning, you'll wake up and you'll realize the stairs aren't as painful. Your hands are less stiff, your mind less cloudy, and you'll know something is working. Now you might be wondering, what if you already take turmeric and still feel inflammation? That's why our next food is just as essential. It doesn't come in powder. It comes with color, flavor, and a story your body will love. Shall we continue? If turmeric is the golden healer, then berries are nature's colorful defense team. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, they may look small, but inside them is a powerful group of compounds called anthocyanins. These natural antioxidants are what give berries their deep red, purple, and blue hues. But more importantly, they help neutralize the free radicals in your body that contribute to chronic inflammation, cognitive decline, and even heart disease. Let's take a moment to be honest with ourselves. How often do we reach for a sweet pastry when a bowl of berries would have satisfied us just as much and healed us from within? In fact, a long-term study from Harvard University followed over 16,000 women aged 70 and older. It found that those who ate just 2 servings of blueberries and strawberries a week showed slower cognitive decline by up to 2.5 years compared to those who didn't. Think about that. A simple, delicious habit, and your brain thanks you for it. For seniors, especially those living alone or struggling with mobility, berries offer another rare gift: convenience. They don't need to be cooked. They don't need to be seasoned. You can buy them fresh, frozen, or even dried, without added sugar. And with every bite, you're giving your body something deeply healing. Here's how you can easily add more berries into your routine. Mix a handful into your morning oatmeal or yogurt. Keep frozen berries in your freezer for smoothies or just a cold snack on hot days. Sprinkle them into salads. Yes, berries pair wonderfully with greens and nuts. Even just a simple bowl of berries after dinner can satisfy your sweet tooth without inflammation. I once met a retired teacher in Oregon who said she keeps a small bowl of blueberries next to her favorite reading chair. Instead of reaching for cookies, I reach for these little guys, she told me. Helps the waistline, and I remember more of the book. She smiled, but she wasn't joking, because another study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry showed that regular berry consumption improves memory, balance, and coordination, functions that naturally decline as we age. So the next time you walk past the berry section in the store, don't think of them as a treat. Think of them as your allies, soft, sweet, and fiercely protective. But if you think berries are impressive, wait until you discover the next food. Something as old as civilization, yet often missing from modern diets. It doesn't just fight inflammation, it builds the very walls of your heart's defense system. You may have heard that fish is good for your heart, but for seniors, fatty fish is more than just a heart-healthy choice. It's a foundational pillar of anti-inflammatory nutrition. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and trout are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, which are known to lower the production of inflammatory substances in the body. What does that mean in real life? It means less stiffness in your hands. It means fewer flare-ups of arthritis. It means better blood flow, more stable moods, and even a sharper memory. In fact, a landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consumed fatty fish at least once a week had significantly reduced rates of Alzheimer's disease. That's not a small benefit, that's a potential life changer. And there's more. A group of Danish researchers observed 1,300 seniors over a 10-year period and found that those with higher levels of omega-3s in their blood not only had lower levels of inflammatory markers, but also reported less depression, better mobility, and longer independence in daily living. This isn't just about what's on your plate. This is about how you live. Whether or not you can get up in the morning and go for a walk, or whether your knees say no. And what's truly beautiful, you don't need to be a gourmet chef. Baking a piece of salmon with a bit of lemon, olive oil, and herbs takes less time than standing in line at a fast food restaurant. Here are a few simple ideas. Grill sardines with a touch of garlic and serve with greens. Add chunks of mackerel to a warm grain bowl with quinoa and steamed vegetables. Or keep it classic. A fillet of salmon, oven-baked with a side of roasted carrots and sweet potatoes. Some older adults tell me, but fish is expensive. And it's true, fresh fish can cost more. But here's a gentle reminder, so do doctor visits, so do prescriptions. Investing in healing foods now can mean fewer health problems and fewer bills later. And if fresh fish isn't always available, canned sardines or mackerel in olive oil can be a surprisingly affordable and effective alternative. Still unsure? Let me tell you a story. A man I met in coastal Maine, 82 years old, still rows a boat out to check lobster traps every morning. I asked him, "What's your secret?" He looked at me and said, "Salmon, twice a week, and I don't argue with my wife." The second part is optional. But the fish? That's something we can all say yes to. Now there's one more anti-inflammatory food we haven't touched yet. It's not meat. It's not even fruit. But it may be the most versatile, healing, and calming food you can keep in your kitchen. And no, it's not expensive. It's been around for centuries. Let's explore it next. We often overlook them. They're not glamorous, they don't come in shiny packaging. But green leafy vegetables, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, arugula, are some of the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods you can eat after 60. Let's be honest, most of us didn't grow up with a love for greens. They were the eat your vegetables on our plate, the ones we pushed around with a fork. But science is catching up to what traditional cultures have known for centuries. These greens are medicinal. What makes them so special? They're packed with vitamin K, which helps reduce inflammation in the arteries and protect against osteoporosis. They're rich in magnesium, which supports muscle function and heart health. They're loaded with phytonutrients, compounds that fight cellular damage and keep the immune system sharp. A study published in Neurology found that older adults who consumed 1 to 2 servings of leafy greens per day had the cognitive ability of someone 11 years younger compared to those who rarely ate them. Just imagine, 11 years younger, from a handful of greens a day. And unlike supplements or medications, there's no side effect to spinach, only benefits. Here's something else to consider. Inflammation doesn't just cause pain, it silently damages your blood vessels, joints, and brain, day after day. Leafy greens go to work in the background, cleaning up that damage like a gentle internal sweep. They lower C-reactive protein, CRP levels, a marker of chronic inflammation that's been linked to heart disease, diabetes, and cognitive decline. So how can you get more of these into your day without choking down a plate of plain kale? Try this. Add a handful of spinach to your scrambled eggs in the morning. Blend kale or arugula into your smoothie. You won't even taste it. Sauté Swiss chard in olive oil with garlic and a splash of lemon. Or make a big salad with mixed greens, nuts, and berries, and top it with a warm piece of grilled fish. One 78-year-old viewer from the Netherlands shared in a comment, "I never liked kale, but I found that steaming it with sweet potatoes and adding a pinch of cinnamon changed everything." Sometimes it's not about forcing yourself, it's about finding a new way to fall in love with what heals you. And remember, even if you can't chew tough, raw greens easily, a soup, a stir-fry, or even a warm tea made with spinach can still carry those healing compounds into your body. Food doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be honest, simple, and consistent. If you've come this far, it means something inside you is ready. Ready to take back control. Ready to stop believing the story that aging equals decline. You see, growing older doesn't mean giving up your joy, your clarity, your movement, but it does mean gently choosing different. Not harder, not more expensive, just wiser. Let's pause for a moment and recall the 5 gentle warriors we've met in this journey. Berries, nature's antioxidants in every bite, keeping your memory and heart sharp. Turmeric, the golden healer that soothes your joints and brightens your brain. Fatty fish, liquid medicine for your arteries, your mood, and your mobility. Green leafy vegetables, the silent sweepers that clean inflammation from your body daily. Olive oil, the ancient elixir that replaces chaos with calm at a cellular level. These are not superfoods hyped by trends. They are not magic pills sold on late-night TV. They are ancient, humble, time-tested. And more than that, they are accessible. You don't need to move to the Mediterranean or spend hundreds of dollars on supplements. You just need to begin, in your kitchen, in your daily rhythm. Because every choice is a signal to your body. I still care about you. I want you to thrive, not just survive. And here's what no one tells you. Inflammation doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers, in stiff fingers, in foggy mornings, in moods that swing without cause. But so does healing. Healing also whispers, in a walk that doesn't ache, in laughter that comes quicker, in a memory that returns before the sentence is done. If you are in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or even 90s, it's not too late. Every anti-inflammatory food you eat is a vote for the version of you that is free, lucid, steady. So when you next open your fridge, ask yourself, is this food calming my body or inflaming it? And when you feel unsure, remember this. You deserve to age without fear. You deserve a body that still carries you with dignity. You deserve a life that's not only long, but light. Healing isn't far. It might just be one meal away. If this video made you pause, reflect, or even feel a quiet hope, I want you to know something. You are not too old to feel better. You are not too far gone to begin again. And you are certainly not alone. These gentle foods, they are small ways of telling your body, I still believe in you. If even one of them spoke to you today, I'd love for you to share in the comments. Which one will you try this week? Or maybe, what has already helped you feel stronger? Let's make this space more than just a channel. Let's make it a community, where older adults support each other, share stories, and grow together. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Golden Pathways, where each video is crafted with care to help you live not just longer, but deeper. We still have so much to discover about health, about joy, about this stage of life that no one prepared us for, but we're learning to embrace. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, eat gently, live wisely, and never forget, you still matter deeply.